Okay, we are conducting contextual inquiry on Pritham Mukkara. He's a computer science and math major.
Yes.
And right now he's taking notes on which class?
Database management systems.
Yeah, on OneNote.
On OneNote.
On OneNote, and this is OneNote. See? And what class number is database management?
That is class CS 564.
564.
Right. So Preetham, I wanted to ask you. So you've been for this class. Since when have you been like using OneNote? Maybe for this class specifically, or for other classes in the past?
For this class specifically, I've been using OneNote the entire time. So for the past couple weeks, basically, I've been utilizing OneNote.
And did you have any experience like using OneNote for like other classes, or is this the first time you're using
This
it?
is actually my first time using OneNote. I started using OneNote this semester, and I now use it for all my classes.
What do you enjoy about using OneNote for note taking?
Convenience. Convenience is a big key. It's also a lot easier to quickly type down your notes. I generally type faster than I do write. So just being able to type my notes and then be able to follow the lecture right after as well is super nice. It also has a bunch of like pretty intuitive attributes, like being able to draw a table, like connections between stuff.
Have you ever drawn notes like on an iPad or?
I have not used an iPad to draw notes, but I feel like OneNote does a pretty easy job of drawing tables like this.
And as you can see, here's a table.
Right. And so you said that you use OneNote for this class and for tables. And are there like any like certain benefits that you see in OneNote that you can't do on like other note-taking applications, or something that sets it apart?
Well, personally, I haven't used too many note-taking applications, but I think OneNote has the ability to quickly navigate to like different like symbols or like shapes. They have them neatly packaged into like one specific button. When you click into that, it's super nice to just see all your options.
Do you find any issues while using OneNote? Something that you would like them to improve upon?
Yeah, sometimes they're like arrows. It's really hard to manipulate them for some reason, especially their arrow feature. But sometimes just their shapes in general, I feel like they should have the ability to make them a more like fluid motion. Sometimes they're very rigid.
Shapes.
So like on iPads, you can often draw like with a Apple Pencil. Is there also a feature like if you want to draw something out, can you do that with your keyboard or like with your trackpad?
I think there is. I personally have not used that feature though, but I believe there is a feature to do so if required.
And like the notes that you take, do you always like access them through your laptop, or do you access them like on your phone or any other device if needed?
I currently write all my notes on my laptop, but I do access them on my phone when I need to do a quick revision.
So what makes you choose like OneNote over, let's say, Google Docs or some other note-taking application?
I think personally OneNotes is just easier, more intuitive than either Google Docs or any other applications I've used so far. I also think I don't know, I find it easier to find diagrams and even build them on OneNote compared to other platforms, and I just think the variety of diagrams available to you, especially template wise, is more on OneNote.
As a computer science and math major, you obviously have to do a lot of like quantitative work. What would you say is like a feature that you like that like, I don't know, that benefits you as like a computer science or math major on OneNote?
I think it's super easy to stay organized on OneNote.
Okay.
They have like color coding, as you can see like up here with some of my subjects that I'm doing right now. But even within that, you can write down like quick summaries for each page too. So if you need to quickly flip through pages, you can get to your content pretty easily. I think that's super important, especially for me when I'm juggling a lot of stuff. Being able to navigate to what I need to when I need to is super important.
Right. And so for a lot of CS classes or in any class in particular, I'd say there's usually like a lot of assignments are assigned as PDFs, and sometimes you just have to fill out a PDF and submit it. Is that like a feature that you do use, like maybe importing PDFs or photos, or just importing something that you want to go with your notes?
Yeah, I do. I always do that. You can fill them out using OneNote. I've done it once or twice, but we haven't really had to do that much this semester. So.
And as you can import, can you also export your document to like other forms
Yes,
if needed?
we can.
Have you used that?
I have submitted. I've done some work on OneNotes and submitted an assignment through it as well.
Wow.
How much time is left on the clock? Okay.
So, some nice notes.
So do you often is your note taking usually like right now I can see that you're taking notes on a recorded lecture.
Yep.
So if you're in a, let's say if you're at a live lecture, would that how would your note taking like not like technique vary? Like would you do something different if it was a live lecture?
Yeah, well, the thing with a live lecture is you don't really get much. You don't get to like pause and like completely write everything down the way you could on a recorded lecture, right? So what I usually do is I read the slide or whatever he's talking about once, and try and like summarize it and basically write down the summary of the page, and then I take that rest of the time just to absorb the information he's talking about. Because I feel like at that point, prioritizing just understanding it is more important than just needing to like just write everything down and not really understand what you're writing down, you know?
When you're not in the classroom environment,
Mm-hmm.
Say you're in an environment like this, how do you choose your environment you want to be in?
Well, when it comes to note taking, I generally prefer a quiet environment, something that's not too distraction heavy. Yeah, so sometimes I just go sit by my desk, kind of just lock the door and zone in. Generally try to keep towards more like calm environments when I study. Obviously, you don't have a choice when you're in class, but I feel like that's more conducive to my note taking.
And so given that you use OneNote, do you find like any like advantages of using OneNote, especially with how it maybe integrates with the Microsoft Suite, like Word or PowerPoint?
Yeah, especially with Word, I really use the compatibility between both of them a lot. It's really easy to just drag stuff from Word into OneNote and vice versa. So whenever we need to like fill out a Word document, it's super easy to just bring it into my OneNote, look at the notes side by side, and then just bring it back out.
Have you ever used this application on something besides this device? Or?
No, currently I just started using this on my laptop. I plan to buy an iPad in the future, so hopefully this will translate into that. But currently, as of now, just the laptop. I do view it on my phone sometimes, but the actual note-taking process is currently just on my laptop.
What do you mean view on your phone?
I just pull up the OneNote application and I have my notes. I can just
It
scroll through it.
syncs.
Yeah, it does sync.
And
Wow.
so you said you plan to buy an iPad in the future. Like,
Yes.
what reasons would you like to buy an iPad rather than taking notes like on a laptop like you're doing right now?
I feel like with the iPad, you obviously get more of that paper and pen feel back, but also I think you get sort of the best of both worlds in one sense. Like you're able to like freely draw diagrams and make shapes in a much more organic manner than you would have like on just like a laptop. But along with that, you get to type and you get to you even get like text correction and auto like complete on the iPad as well, which is like super helpful. I think you're like coupling speed with the organicness of like actual just paper and pen. So that's what I'd like to combine, and I think it'll just be like helpful. Key notes.
It looks like our time is up on the interview.
Thank you for your
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you guys.